So our next step is submitting for a PPR, a preliminary project review. PPR is an application to review the conformity of the proposed design with the existing zoning. As you know by now from my previous videos as well, that one of the major problems that the city is facing, that the zoning does not allow or does not match the needs of the city. So the vast majority, almost all projects require some sort of an approval process. Almost anything that is not a single family home. The zoning review is done by the building department, not by the planning department, and then comes back to planning. When it comes to approval, there are 3 options for each project. Option number 1, being approved as of right. When it comes to development potential, this is not the route we find ourselves in because of the reason I explained earlier, how the city is zoned for much less than is needed. Option 2, committee of adjustments in case of minor variances. And option 3, a rezoning application that in this case, an OPA, an official plan amendment, could be part of. So how a PPR is related to which of the 3 options of approval routes. If it's very clear that a rezoning application will be required in mid-rise buildings or tall buildings, a PPR is not required because obviously a building could not go through committee of adjustment or doesn't have minor variances. But if it's in a gray zone, or if it's really clear that the approval process could be done through COA, committee of adjustment, then a PPR is needed, especially with all the missing middle projects. They all start with a PPR. So let's see what the requirements are. While detailed design and materials are not part of what the building department is reviewing at this stage, setbacks, massing, height, landscape are all within the requirements of this application. The result of this review is a list of all the variances that the design does not match the zoning. So it's really important to not miss any of this. We developed our own checklist to make sure nothing is left behind, especially because if it goes to committee as is and something is forgotten, you would have to go back to the committee. And of course, it's something you would like strongly to avoid. This is how a PPR set looks like. This is one of our non-confidential materials, and we are happy to share them with you. As you can see, it's pretty detailed in nature to a far greater extent than a feasibility massing would be, as we often get asked by our clients, because it has to include all the components that later will be submitted to committee of adjustment. And here's how it comes back from the city. The next thing we like to do before it goes back to the planning department is to provide a very short and succinct rationale to each of the variances to prove they are indeed minor and ask for it to go through committee of adjustment, especially with all the missing middle projects. This step is crucial. From here, assuming staff support, the next step will be applying for site plan control and then to committee of adjustment. I hope this video clarified what a PPR is, when it is needed, and why it is important to get it right. I look forward to working with you. Thanks for watching.